Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to the Vocabulary Expansion Challenge. Today, we move on to a new topic, understanding and confusion. When I arrived at the office this morning, I felt like something was amiss. Although no one said anything to me directly, I could make out that something was wrong. I first went to my colleague's desk to try and figure out what was going on. However, after a few vague answers and awkward silences, I realized that he couldn't help. Still, I was puzzled about what had happened, so I went to my boss's office and knocked on the door. I didn't catch on initially and kept banging on the door like a desperate salesman for what seemed like minutes. Finally, I confirmed that she wasn't there. I went back to my desk with a confused look on my face. It wasn't until I checked my mail that I started putting two and two together. I'd forgotten that the leaders from our headquarters were planning a visit, and a brief check in my inbox showed a notification about their early arrival. Once I cottoned on to the situation, I realized that I had missed their arrival, as had many others, and they were very unhappy with the organization of our department. Then I started to grasp what had happened before I arrived. I deduced that my boss had been fired and several colleagues had been given stern warnings. That was the reason for the tense atmosphere. That was an awkward week, I can tell you. Okay, I must say, if you struggle to understand some of this text, don't despair. This is quite advanced. There's a lot of really advanced vocabulary in here. However, it's not vocabulary that is difficult to understand, in my opinion, once you know the meaning. The first word that we have is amiss. Amiss. If something is amiss, it seems wrong or it's out of place. Something's amiss. Something's not right. That's not a spelling mistake. It is one word, amiss. When he entered the room, he sensed that something was amiss. We often use it with to sense. Next, we have the phrasal verb to make out, to make out. Now, one meaning you may know is to passionately kiss. It doesn't mean that. In this context, to make out means to struggle to see or hear something. It was hard to make out what he was saying. I struggled to understand or to hear what he was saying. We also had the phrasal verb to figure out, to figure out. This is to discover an answer or to solve a problem. It took me a while to figure it out, but I understand it now. Number 4 is a word that I love to use. It is vague. Vague. It simply means unclear. The details of the story were a bit vague. They were a bit unclear. Next, we have puzzled. Puzzled. If you are puzzled about something, you are unable to understand something. I'm a bit puzzled. I'm a bit confused. Don't stand there looking puzzled. Help me. Next, we have to catch on. To catch on. And this is to understand the meaning of something or how to do something. I didn't understand the game at first, but I soon caught on. Next, to confirm. To confirm. This is to make sure. We're just calling to confirm your appointment on Saturday. Number 8, confused. Confused. This means unable to think clearly or to understand something. The students can easily get confused when you try to explain grammar rules. Next, we have to put two and two together. This is a common idiom, to put two and two together. This is to guess or kind of to estimate the truth about something after seeing some evidence. I put two and two together and realized he'd been having an affair. Number 10, this is very similar to catch on. It is to cotton on, to cotton on. It's to begin to understand something. They didn't cotton on until he revealed the plan to them. Number 11 is to grasp, to grasp. The main meaning of this word, this verb, is to grab, to hold something tightly. I am grasping the pen. In this context, it means to understand. I'm starting to grasp the concept of quantum mechanics. And finally, we have a lovely verb. It is to deduce. To deduce. This is to reach an answer or a decision by carefully considering the facts. We deduced that the thief must be a child because the footprints were so small. I have lots of extra vocabulary just to talk about a few. A really common phrase is an awkward silence, And this is an uncomfortable pause in conversation. We also have a stern warning. This means to be severely criticized for something that has gone wrong, that you've done wrong. When I turned up late, my boss gave me a stern warning. They made me realize that if I did it again, I'd be in real trouble. And finally, we have a tense atmosphere. This is an environment that is uncomfortable because there's a lot of tension or pressure, especially between people. There was a very tense atmosphere in the stadium before the match. Right, that's it from me. Don't forget to complete all of the exercise questions, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 11. Bye.